On this old-time country music, a founding member of the original New Lost City Ramblers, Tom Paley. Major funding for old-time country music was provided by Friends of Iowa Public Television. From the studios of Iowa Public Television, welcome to Old-Time Country Music. Performing traditional folk and country music, here's Tom Paley, accompanied by Bob Bovee.
A song now that the Carter family used to do called The Stern Old Bachelor. I am a stern old bachelor, my age is 44. I do declare I'll never live with women anymore. I have a stove that's worth 10 cents and a table worth 15. I cook my gruel in oyster cans and I keep my things so clean. Oh, little sod shanty, give to me, for I'm a stern old bachelor from matrimony free. And when I come home late at night, I smile and walk right in. I never hear a voice yell out, I say, where have you been? On a cold and stormy night, in my cozy little old shack, I sing my songs and I think my thoughts with no one to talk back. Oh, little sod shanty, give to me, for I'm a stern old bachelor from matrimony free. I go to bed whene'er I please, I get up just the same. I change my socks 3 times a week with no one to complain. Now at night when I'm in peaceful sleep, my snores can do no harm, and I never have to walk the floor with a baby in my arm. Oh, little sod shanty, give to me, for I'm a stern old bachelor from matrimony free. And when I die and go to heaven, as all good bachelors do, I will not have to grieve for fear my wife will get there too. Oh, little sod shanty, give to me, for I'm a stern old bachelor from matrimony free. Yep. Maybe some controversial aspects of that last verse. But the question is, it may be true, all good bachelors go to heaven, Question is, are there many of them? I don't know. Many years ago, I don't know just when it was, the state of Tennessee sold bonds to try and gather money to build highways. And then when they came to try and use the money was gone. And Uncle Dave Macon sang a song about it, and this is it, called The Wreck of the Tennessee Gravy Train. Well, the people of Tennessee want to know who wrecked our gravy train, the one we thought was run so well, and now who can we blame? Want to know who greased the track and started it down the road? That very same train contained the money to build our highway road. Now we're up against it and no use to raise a row. Of all the times I've ever seen, we're sure up against it now. The only thing that we can do is do the best we can. So follow me, good people, I'm bound for the promised land. Oh, I could be a banker without the least excuse, but look at the treasure of Tennessee and tell me what's the use. We lately bonded Tennessee for just $5 million. The bonds were issued and the money tied up, and now we're in tough luck. Now we're up against it and no use to raise a row. Of all the times I've ever seen, we're sure up against it now. The only thing that we can do is do the best we can. So follow me, good people, I'm bound for the promised land. Some blame it all on the parties, some lay it on others, you see. But now you can plainly see what happened to Tennessee. The engineer pulled the throttle, the brakeman rang the bell, the conductor hollered all aboard, and the banks all went to hell. Now we're up against it and no use to raise a row. Of all the times I've ever seen, we're sure up against it now. The only thing that we can do is do the best we can. So follow me, good people, I'm bound for the promised land. Come gather around, all you good, kind people, while I got money to spend. Tomorrow might be another day, and I'll neither have a dollar nor a friend. Oh, when I had a plenty of money, good people, had friends a-standing all around. Just as soon as my pocketbook was empty, not a friend on earth could be found. Well, the last time I seen my little woman, good people, she had a wine glass in her hand. She was drinking away her troubles with a low-down sorry man. Well, my daddy, he taught me a plenty, good people, and my mama, she taught me more. Said if I didn't quit my rowdy ways, I'd have trouble around my door. Well, I wrote my little woman a letter, good people, and I told her I was in jail. She wrote me back an answer saying, honey, I'll come and go your bail. All around that old jailhouse in Minnie, good people, $40 won't pay my fine. Corn whiskey has surrounded my body. Pretty women is a trouble in my mind. Give me cornbread when I'm a hungry, good people, and corn whiskey when I'm dry. Pretty women are standing all around me, and sweet heaven when I die. Now if I'd listened to my mama, good people, well, I would not have been here today. But drinking and a shooting and a gambling, at home I could not stay. Go and dig me a hole in the meadow, good people. Go and dig me a hole in the ground. Come gather round, good people, and watch this poor rounder go down. And when I'm dead and my body been buried, and my pale face turned to the sun, you can come around and moan, little woman, and think of the way you done. How's it going? I'm living kind of swell in the second-rate hotel, where the clientele is nothing but the best. There's a burglar, a murderer, and 7 maniacs, but I wouldn't like to answer for the rest. Oh, they feed on chicken pie. If you eat it, you will die. The meat, you could not cut it with a sword. The oatmeal 6 weeks old, you can't eat it for the mold. In that old go-hungry hash house where I board. The other night the bed bugs came and met me on the stairs. That was something they had never done before. And when they dragged me up to bed, Lord, I wish that I was dead, so I wouldn't have to live here anymore. Oh, the beefsteak, it was rare, the butter had red hair, and the baby had his feet all in the stew. The eggs you could not touch, if you kicked one it would hatch, in that old go-hungry hash house where I go. If you think that I'm happy here, I can tell you that I'm not. If I stay here long, I think I'll go insane. On the corner of my cot, the mice are dancing a gavotte, while the bedbugs all play hopscotch round my brain. The molasses tastes like paint. If you smell it, you would faint. The buckwheat cakes like sponges petrified. The pies are old and gray. You had better stay away from that old go-hungry hash house where I bide. Promised that she'd meet me when the clock struck 17 at the stockyards just a mile outside of town, where the pig's feet and pig's ears and those longhorn Texas steers sell a sirloin steak for $20 a pound. She's my darling and my daisy. She's silly and she's crazy. She's knock-kneed and bow-legged and she's lame. Well, they say her breath is sweet, but I would rather smell her feet. She's my freckled-faced consumptive Sarah Jane. Oh, the flapjacks are like blankets full of bugs and balls of hair. The sausages and bacon taste like hell. Well, the biscuits are like lead and something's living in the bread in that old go-hungry hash house where I dwell. Thank you. I'm going to do a number called Ora Lee. Actually comes from Civil War time. There was a text to it. I don't know any of the text, just know it as a tune.
Those of you who know the title may not recognize it, though it's a very different version than I was used to hearing it when I grew up. And that's not Tom's fault.
Thank you. Croquet habit is mighty bad. These old habits I've always had. Oh, hey, honey, won't you come out tonight? Way down yonder in the sunny south, the sun shines warm in my honey's house. Oh, hey, honey, won't you come out tonight? Well, I got a good woman and she lives in town. When I'm away, she wears a morning gown. Oh, hey, honey, won't you come out tonight? See my honey run across the field, winding and a-twisting like an automobile. Oh, hey, honey, won't you come out tonight? Now you got a nickel and I got a dime. If you don't mind, it'll all be mine. Oh, hey, honey, won't you come out tonight? And if you don't believe it, I'll treat you right. Follow me down to my shack tonight. Oh, hey, honey, won't you come out tonight? Now, many years ago, when the frontier was moving, the frontier of sort of European settlement, moving westward, people back in the more settled parts generally thought of themselves as being fairly civilized, but they thought these people who moved out to the frontier, well, they're half savage, pretty crude anyway. And they used to make fun of them. They wouldn't have liked to get in a fight with them, maybe, but they made fun of them because they were sort of primitive and they live out there in the country. And this song I'm going to sing is something of that sort. This one warns Virginia girls not to get hitched with West Virginia boys because it's so crude way out there in West Virginia. There's a version of the same song that warns Missouri girls not to marry Kansas boys, and another one that warns Missouri gals not to marry Arkansas boys. I guess the Missouri men were pretty, let's say, possessive. Not only one state, but two that they warned them about.
I'm married to a Missouri girl. Unfortunately, they didn't warn them about Nebraska.
It's called Virginia Girls. Let's get that straight. Come all of you Virginia gals, listen to my noise. Don't you go marrying the West Virginia boys, for if you do, all your portion it will be cornbread, molasses, and a sassafras tea. Now when a West Virginia boy falls in love, first he calls you honey and then it's turtle dove. But when you're married, it's no such a thing. But get up and get my breakfast, you good for nothing thing. And when he comes a-courting with his long ragged hair, first thing he tells you is, my daddy shot a bear. Next thing he says when he sits down, madam, your Johnny cake is baked too brown. And when he goes milking, he milks in a gourd, throws it in a corner and he covers with a board. Some get plenty and some get none, but that's just the way with the West Virginia run. When he goes fishing, he takes along a worm, puts it on a hook just to see it squirm. The first thing he says when he gets a bite, I think I caught a fish about as big as Jimmy White. Living in a cabin with a great log wall, nary a window in it any place at all, a sandstone chimney and a puncheon floor, a clapboard roof and a button door. Now when he goes to meeting, what clothes does he wear? An old brown coat all picked and bare, an old white hat more brim than crown, and a pair of cotton socks that he's worn a week around. So come all of you Virginia gals and listen to my noise. Don't you go marrying the West Virginia boys, for if you do, all your portion it will be cornbread, molasses, and a sassafras tea. Cornbread, molasses, and a sassafras tea.
Major funding for old-time country music was provided by Friends of Iowa Public Television.